Hello everyone. Let us see the continuation of your module 3. In this presentation, you will be studying about the topic called as 6TISCH, where your TSCH stands for Time Slotted Channel Hopping. TSCH, that is Time Slotted Channel Hopping, where this is an additional to your MAC layer. It acts as an additional feature for your MAC layer in IEEE 802.154 standard. In the standard, it acts as an additional feature where it will direct some of the inheritance concept from other standards. Andre ಬೇರೆ standards ಇಂದ it will inherit some of the features and it will add to your MAC layer. Like ಈ ಬೇರೆ ಸ್ಟ್ಯಾಂಡರ್ಡ್ಸ್ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದ್ವಿ ಅಲ್ವಾ, it will inherit from other standards. What are these other standards? Other standards are like your wireless HART and ISA 100.11a. So TSCH stands for your time slotted channel hopping. It is an additional to your MAC layer. MAC layer ಗೆ ಒಂದು additional ಆಗಿ act ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ and it is done in your IEEE 802.154 standard, where this will directly inherit the some of the features as your from your wireless HART and ISA 1001.11a. While implementing this TSCH in your IEEE 802.154, you have to communicate by following a time division, where you have to divide the time and you have to schedule like what communication should take place, that and all should be scheduled before itself. That division is called as your time division multiple access schedule. An allocation of a unit of bandwidth ಅಥವಾ ಆ ಟೈಮ್ ಸ್ಲಾಟ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ನಾವು ಯಾವುದಕ್ಕೆ ಲೈಕ್ ಕಮ್ಯುನಿಕೇಟ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು ಅಂತ ಅಲಾಟ್ ಮಾಡಿರ್ತೀವಿ, that will be scheduled between your neighbor nodes. Neighbor nodes ಯಾವುದಿರುತ್ತೋ ಅದು ಆ ಟೈಮ್ ಸ್ಲಾಟ್ ನ ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡಿಕೊಂಡು it can make use of that particular bandwidth which is available. By making use of these things, it can have the communication. Easyಯಾಗಿ communication ನ ಮಾಡಬಹುದು. And this not only allows the communication, ಬರೀ communication ಅಲ್ಲದೆ ಇದು programming ನು allow ಮಾಡುತ್ತೆ. How to program this? ಯಾವ ತರ programming allow ಮಾಡುತ್ತೆ ಅಂತ ಅಂದ್ರೆ, it will predict some of the transmission ಯಾವ ತರ ಆಗ್ತಾ ಇದೆ, ಅಥವಾ ಏನಾದ್ರೂ deterministic characteristics ಇದ್ರೆ ಅದನ್ನ ಯಾವ ತರ enable ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ, and it will do these things in industrial type application. This programming and predictable mechanism will be done in your industrial type. So not only the communication part, but it also allows the programming part in that predictable transmission, and it will enable the deterministic industrial type application. In standard IPv6 over the TSCH, that is your time slotted channel hopping of IEEE 802.15.4e, where this IETF organization has formed a group in order to work about this, is called as your 6TISCH. TSCH, that is your time slotted channel hopping na ನಾನು IPv6 standard ಜೊತೆ ಏನಾದ್ರೂ ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಿದ್ದೀನಿ ಅಂತ ಅಂದ್ರೆ, then we have formed a group in order to work on this called as your 6TISCH, where TSCH stands for time slotted channel hopping, and the group which is working on the time slotted channel hopping, that is TSCH over your IPv6, then that is called as your 6TISCH, and this is done by your IETF organization. The working group, andre the one group what we have formed will works on the architecture. ಯಾವ ತರ architecture ಮೇಲೆ work ಮಾಡುತ್ತೆ ಅಂದ್ರೆ, the models which will provide the information. Models ಯಾವ ನಮಗೆ information ಕೊಡುತ್ತೆ ಅದು, and how can the configuration can be minimal. ಅಂದ್ರೆ how can we minimize the configuration of your 6TISCH, and it will enhance the work done by your 6LoWPAN working group. 6Low working group and 6LoWPAN ಅವ್ರು ಏನ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರು ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಇನ್ನ ಅಷ್ಟು ಫೀಚರ್ಸ್ ನ ಆಡ್ ಮಾಡುತ್ತೆ, where your ROL, that is your routing over low power and lossy networks working group, and CORE, that is your constrained restful environments working group. So it will make use of these protocols features, and it will enhance these features or the work that is done by this particular groups, that is your 6LoWPAN, ROL and core. The ROL working group focuses on layer 3 andre routing ಆಗಬೇಕು ಅಂದ್ರೆ packets na forward ಮಾಡುವಾಗ we may go for routing purpose. So in that time we will make use of this ROL. An important element that is specified by your 6 TISCH working is of 6 stop. 6 stop ಅನ್ನೋದು one element that is an important thing in your 6 TISCH because it is a sublayer which will glues together the andre MAC layer ಮತ್ತೆ 6LoWPAN na ಏನು ಮಾಡುತ್ತೆ, it will combine. What it does do is it is a sublayer. 6 stop is a sublayer which will combine or which will join this to MAC layer in the 6LoWPAN adaptation layer. This sublayer will provide some of the commands. ಯಾವ ತರ commands na use ಮಾಡಿ ನಾವು communicate ಮಾಡಬೇಕು ಅನ್ನೋದನ್ನ ಹೇಳುತ್ತೆ, and these commands will be given to your upper network layer. upper ಅಂದ್ರೆ higher network layers like your application layer ಆಗ್ಬೋದು, transport layer ಆಗ್ಬೋದು, ಈ ತರದಕ್ಕೆಲ್ಲ it will provide some of the commands. The commands could be your RPL. In turn, these commands will enable the functionalities ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಯಾವ layer ಗೆ ಅದು command na pass ಮಾಡಿರುತ್ತೋ ಆ commands na ಅದು enable ಮಾಡಿ it will work on those commands and it will enable the functionality that has been related with that particular command. ಆ particular command ಜೊತೆ ಯಾವ functionality ಇರುತ್ತೋ ಅದನ್ನ enable ಮಾಡಿ it will start working on those commands. ಇವಾಗ network layer ಅಂತ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ನಾವು ಅದು nodes na configure ಮಾಡೋದಾಗ್ಬೋದು ಅಥವಾ network na configure ಮಾಡ್ಬೋದು ಅಥವಾ communication, how to forward a packet. These decisions can be enabled in this particular network layer. So routing decision, configuration, control procedures for your 6TISCH schedule management. These things will be done at your network layer. In the same way, if I make use of the standard that is your IEEE 802.15.4e, it will define a time slot structure. Time slot ಅಂದ್ರೆ like ಯಾವ scheduling algorithms ನಾವು operating system ಅಲ್ಲಿ ನೋಡಿದೀವಿ, like CPU ನ ಹೆಂಗ್ schedule ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ ಅಥವಾ process ನ ಹೆಂಗೆ schedule ಮಾಡಿ CPU ನ ಹೆಂಗ್ utilize ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ. On the same basis, this IEEE 802.154e standard will define this time slots and it will utilize the time slots. ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಆ time slots ಏನ್ allot ಮಾಡಿರುತ್ತೋ ಅದನ್ನ complete ಆಗಿ use ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಂಡು it will give us the efficient result. But this is not a mandatory thing. ಇದನ್ನ use ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಳ್ಬೇಕು ಅನ್ನೋದು ಏನು mandatory thing ಅಲ್ಲ, but we will make use of the scheduling algorithms. Scheduling algorithms ಅಂದ್ರೆ you may use priority scheduling ಆಗ್ಬೋದು, first come first serve ಆಗ್ಬೋದು ಅಥವಾ ರೌಂಡ್ ರಾಬಿನ್ ಆಗ್ಬೋದು ಅಥವಾ ಶಾರ್ಟೆಸ್ಟ್ ಜಾಬ್, ಈ ತರ ಯಾವ ಬೇಸಿಸ್ ಬೇಕಾದ್ರೂ ನಾವು ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಂಡು we can allocate the time slot and we may use that particular time slot. How the scheduling is done. ನಾವು scheduling ಮಾಡ್ತಿದೀವಿ ಅಂತ ಅಂದ್ಮೇಲೆ we may face some of the criteria or we may face some of the problems. So what are those problems is here? It is a critical, it is not an easy thing, but it is a critical one where it will affect the throughput. ನಾವು ಇವಾಗ ಯಾವ algorithm ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಿದೀವಿ, ಯಾವ scheduling algorithm ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಿದೀವಿ ಅನ್ನೋ basis ಮೇಲೆ the performance will depend. If I make use of the best one, then the result will be an efficient one. If I go for the other algorithm which is not suitable for that particular architecture, ಅಂದ್ರೆ ನಾನು ಕನ್ಸಿಡರ್ ಮಾಡಿರೋ ಆರ್ಕಿಟೆಕ್ಚರ್ ಅಥವಾ ಸಿಸ್ಟಮ್ಗೆ ಆ algorithm ಕರೆಕ್ಟ್ ಇಲ್ಲ ಅಂದಾಗ ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ, we may face some of the problems ಎಲ್ಲೆಲ್ಲ ಆಗತ್ತೆ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಥ್ರೂಪುಟ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಆಗ್ಬೋದು ಅಥವಾ ಡಿಲೇ ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಆಗ್ಬೋದು, and the power consumed or required by the nodes or the network may increase. So these are the some of the problems that can be faced by if I make use of the scheduling algorithms. We have a figure here where it is just showing the 6-stop sublayer where it is combining your MAC layer in the LoWPAN adaptation layer. So this is your MAC layer and this is your 6LoWPAN adaptation layer. This 6-stop is a sublayer which is combining these two layers. Scheduling, as if we all know that the time slot will be divided and the scheduling in the 6 TI SSEH will be broken down into a small cells ಆಗಿ ನಾವು ಡಿವೈಡ್ ಮಾಡಿರ್ತೀವಿ. A cell is simply one single element ಆಗ್ಬೋದು. Then that can be allocated for your specific nodes. ಆ time slots ನಾನು ಒಂದು ನೋಡ್ಗೆ ಅಥವಾ ನೆಟ್ವರ್ಕ್ಗೆ allocate ಮಾಡಿರ್ತೀನಿ. Then after allocating those things ನಾನು ಏನಾದರೂ ಆ ಸೆಲ್ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಆ ಟೈಮ್ ಸ್ಲಾಟ್ ನ allocate ಮಾಡಾದ್ಮೇಲೆ I may have the communication I can have either ಯೂನಿಡೈರೆಕ್ಷನಲ್ ಆದ್ರೂ ಆಗ್ಬೋದು ಅಥವಾ ಬೈಡೈರೆಕ್ಷನಲ್ ಆದ್ರೂ ಆಗ್ಬೋದು. Nodes only transmit when the schedule detects that their cell is open for communication. ಆ cell ಅಥವಾ time slot open ಆಗಿದ್ದೆ ಮಾತ್ರ it will have the communication. If it is of a closed type ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಆ cell ಇನ್ನ open ಆಗಿಲ್ಲ ಅಥವಾ ಆ time slot ಇನ್ನ ಬಂದಿಲ್ಲ ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ, then we cannot have the communication. So this is how the transmission of a packet or the communications takes place in your 6TI SSEH. In order to schedule the management ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಈ scheduling ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದ್ವಿ, we will make use of the algorithm in order to schedule ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದ್ವಿ. So ಯಾವ ತರ schedule ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ? So we have 4 schedule management mechanisms. Let us see what are these 4 scheduling management mechanisms. The first one here we have here the static scheduling. What is the static scheduling anta andre? Static, there is no change, it is of a fixed one. Now yavde tara change madala, it is not of a dynamic anta andre runtime alli madbodu illa where we can change it. But if I make use of the static, the nodes in the constraint nodes idenagirutte, it will be shares a fixed schedule ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಆ ಟೈಮೇ ಫಿಕ್ಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ಬಿಟ್ಟಿರ್ತೀವಿ. And cells are shared and nodes are content for slot access in the slotted aloha manner. ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಯಾವ ಟೈಮ್ slotted ನ allocate ಮಾಡಿರ್ತೀವಿ ಆ ಇದ್ರಲ್ಲೇ it should have the communication. That is called as your slotted aloha. Slotted aloha is a basic protocol. It's a protocol in order to send the data using that particular time slot. ಅಂದ್ರೆ time slot boundary ತರ ಆಕ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇರುತ್ತೆ. ಆ time slot ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಮಾತ್ರ ನಾನು ಫಾರ್ವರ್ಡ್ ಮಾಡಕ್ಕಾಗತ್ತೆ ಡೇಟಾನ. So that particular thing is called as your slotted aloha. It is a protocol where in that by making use of that protocol I can send a packet. Static scheduling is a simple one where that can be used upon the initial implementation or as a fallback in the case of network malfunction. ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಅದನ್ನ ನಾನು ಇನಿಷಿಯಲ್ ಅಲ್ಲೇ ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ಬೋದು, ಇಲ್ಲ ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ ನಾನು ನೆಟ್ವರ್ಕ್ ಮಾಲ್ಫಂಕ್ಷನ್ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ನೆಟ್ವರ್ಕ್ ಏನಾದ್ರೂ ಹ್ಯಾಕ್ ಆದ್ರೆ ಅಥವಾ ಯಾರಾದ್ರೂ ವೈರಸ್ ಇಂದ ಅಟ್ಯಾಕ್ ಆದಾಗ ಅಂತ ಟೈಮಲ್ಲಿ ನಾನು ಅದನ್ನ ಫಾಲ್ ಬ್ಯಾಕ್ ಆಗಿ ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ಬೋದು. ದಿಸ್ ಇಸ್ ಅಬೌಟ್ ಯುವರ್ ಸ್ಟಾಟಿಕ್ scheduling. Next we have neighbor to neighbor scheduling. Neighbor to neighbor scheduling ಅಂತ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಬಿಟ್ವೀನ್ ದ ನೋಡ್ಸ್, ಯಾವ ನೋಡ್ಸ್ ಅದ್ರ ಪಕ್ಕ ಇರುತ್ತೋ ಆ ನೋಡ್ಸ್ ಮಧ್ಯ ನಾನು ಕಮ್ಯುನಿಕೇಶನ್ ಅಥವಾ ಟ್ರಾನ್ಸ್ಮಿಷನ್ ನ ಮಾಡ್ಬೋದು. ಅಂಡ್ ಹಿಯರ್ ವಿ ಕ್ಯಾನ್ ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ಎ ನಂಬರ್ ಆಫ್ ಟ್ರಾನ್ಸ್ಮಿಷನ್ ಬಿಟ್ವೀನ್ ದ nodes. A schedule is established which will correlates with the observed number of transition between the nodes. Here ನಾನು ಈಸಿಯಾಗಿ ಸೆಲ್ಸ್ ನ ಆಡ್ ಮಾಡ್ಬೋದು ಅಥವಾ ಡಿಲೀಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ಬೋದು ಬೇಸ್ಡ್ ಆನ್ ದ ಬ್ಯಾಂಡ್ವಿಡ್ತ್ ಅಂಡ್ ಐ ಮೇ ಚೇಂಜ್ ದ ಸೆಲ್ಸ್. ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಈ ಸೆಲ್ಸ್ ನಾನು ಏನಕ್ಕಪ್ಪ ಆಡ್ ಮಾಡಿ ಅಥವಾ ಡಿಲೀಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀನಿ ಅಂತ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಇಟ್ ಇಸ್ ಬೇಸ್ಡ್ ಆನ್ ದ ಬ್ಯಾಂಡ್ವಿಡ್ತ್ ಅಂಡ್ ಹೌ ದ ರಿಕ್ವೈರ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಇಸ್, ಯಾವ ಬೇಸಿಸ್ ಮೇಲೆ ನನಗೆ ಟ್ರಾಫಿಕ್ ರಿಕ್ವೈರ್ಮೆಂಟ್. ಇಫ್ ದ ಟ್ರಾಫಿಕ್ ರಿಕ್ವೈರ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಇಸ್ ಹೈ ದೆನ್ ಐ ಕ್ಯಾನ್ ಆಡ್ ದ ನೋಡ್ಸ್ ಆರ್ ಇವನ್ ಐ ಕ್ಯಾನ್ ಡಿಲೀಟ್ ದ ನೋಡ್ಸ್ ಇನ್ ಆರ್ಡರ್ ಟು avoid the traffic. The third one we have here is the remote monitoring and scheduling management. Remote monitoring anta andre where other resources allocation will be handled by a management entity, can be multiple hops away. ತುಂಬಾ ದೂರ ಇದ್ರೂ ನಾವು ಅದನ್ನ ಮ್ಯಾನೇಜ್ ಮಾಡ್ಬೋದು. and here it will make use of your 6-stop and even a COAP in some scenarios. ಇದು ಎರಡು protocols ನ ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ಬೋದು. and in order to have the information on the application layer ಬಗ್ಗೆ ನಮಗೆ ಇನ್ನ ತುಂಬಾ information ಬೇಕು ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ we will make use of the protocol called as your COP. and this mechanism is a bit of flexibility ಆಗಿರುತ್ತೆ and we can have the control while allocating the cells for the nodes. ಆ ಕಮ್ಯುನಿಕೇಶನ್ ಯಾವ ನೋಡ್ಸ್ ಮಧ್ಯೆ ಆಗಬೇಕು ಅದೆಲ್ಲ ಕಂಟ್ರೋಲ್ ಆಗಿ ನಾವು ಮ್ಯಾನೇಜ್ ಮಾಡ್ಬೋದು. So this is about your remote monitoring. In the remote monitoring where time slots and other resources that can be handled by the multiple hops away entity. The time slots and other resources will be handled by a management entity which is some far away, like it can be of multiple hops. And the scheduling mechanisms may make use of your 6-stop, that is your sublayer, and even a COB, that is your constraint application protocol in some of the scenarios. ಯಾವುದರಲ್ಲಿ ಪರ್ಟಿಕ್ಯುಲರ್ ಆಗಿ ನಮಗೆ ತುಂಬಾ ಫೀಚರ್ಸ್ ಬೇಕು ಅಥವಾ ಪ್ರೋಟೋಕಾಲ್ಸ್ ನ ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು ಅನ್ನೋ ತರ ಇರುತ್ತೆ ಪ್ರಾಬ್ಲಮ್, ಅಂತ ಟೈಮಲ್ಲಿ ನಾವು ಈ protocols na use ಮಾಡಬಹುದು. And the scheduling mechanism or the algorithm is a far flexible one when compared to the other two, and the control in allocating cells for communication between the nodes. And ಇದನ್ನ ನಾವು ಈಸಿಯಾಗಿ ಕಂಟ್ರೋಲ್ ಮಾಡಬಹುದು. ಯಾವಾಗ ಅಂತ ಅಂದ್ರೆ while allocating the cells in order to have the communication between the nodes. And next we have here is the fourth one, that is hop by hop schedule. Coming to this hop by hop, ಅಲ್ಲಿ ರಿಸರ್ವ್ಡ್ ಪಾತ್ ಇರುತ್ತೆ, ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಈ ನೋಡಿಂದ ನಾನು ಅದೇ ಡೆಸ್ಟಿನೇಷನ್ ನೋಡಿಗೆ ಹೋಗ್ಬೇಕಿರುತ್ತೆ. ಬಟ್ ಐ ವಿಲ್ ಮೇಕ್ ಯೂಸ್ ಆಫ್ ಮಲ್ಟಿಪಲ್ ಹಾಪ್ಸ್ ಬಿಕಾಸ್ ನಾನು ಸಿಂಗಲ್ ಸ್ಟ್ರೆಚ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಹೋಗಕ್ಕಾಗಲ್ಲ. ಸೊ ವಾಟ್ ಐ ವಿಲ್ ಡೂ, ಐ ವಿಲ್ ಮೇಕ್ ಯೂಸ್ ಆಫ್ a reserved path and I'll make use of multiple hops in order to reach that particular destination by requesting the allocations of cells in the schedule at each intermediate node hop in that path. ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಆ intermediate node ಇರುತ್ತಲ್ಲ ಅದಕ್ಕೂ ನಾನು ಆ ಸೆಲ್ಸ್ ನ ಅಲೋಕೇಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಳ್ಬೇಕಾಗತ್ತೆ in order to reach the destination. The protocol what we are using is used by a node in order to trigger. ಆ protocol ನ ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಂಡು node ಏನ್ ಮಾಡುತ್ತೆ, ಟ್ರಿಗರ್ ಮಾಡುತ್ತೆ. It will trigger the scheduling mechanism which is not defined at this point. ಆ ಪಾಯಿಂಟ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ನಾನು ಏನಾದ್ರೂ scheduling mechanism ನ ಡಿಫೈನ್ ಮಾಡಿಲ್ಲ ಅಂದ್ರೂ ಆ ಒಂದ್ ಯಾವ್ದಾದ್ರು protocol ನ ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಂಡು ಆ ಪರ್ಟಿಕ್ಯುಲರ್ ನೋಡ್, ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಯಾವ ನೋಡ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ scheduling mechanism ನ ನಾವು ಅಪ್ಲೈ ಮಾಡ್ಬೇಕಾಗಿರುತ್ತೋ ಅದು ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಟ್ರಿಗರ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಳತ್ತೆ. In addition to these management, ಅಂದ್ರೆ ನಾವು scheduling managements ನೋಡಿದ್ವಿ, we had 4 scheduling mechanisms, that is your static, neighbor to neighbor, remote monitoring and hop by hop. In addition to these managements, where it will define 3 different forwarding models, ಅಂದ್ರೆ packets na forward ಮಾಡಕ್ಕೂ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ನನಗೆ 3 types of models ಬರುತ್ತೆ. What are those models? Let us see. What is forwarding? As we all know, packet na one node ಇಂದ ಇನ್ನೊಂದು ನೋಡಿಗೆ ನಾವು send ಮಾಡೋದನ್ನೇ ನಾವು forwarding ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತೀವಿ. Forwarding is the operation which is performed on each packet by a node. ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಒಂದು ನೋಡಿಂದ ಇನ್ನೊಂದು ನೋಡ್ಗೆ, ಅಂದ್ರೆ delivered to a next hop or onto the upper layer protocol. Upper layer protocol ಆದ್ರೂ ಆಗ್ಬೋದು. In the same layer I can send it to the next node. Forwarding decision is based on your pre-existing state. ನಾನು ಯಾವ ಸ್ಟೇಟ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಇದೀನಿ ಅನ್ನೋ ಬೇಸಿಸ್ ಮೇಲೆ ನಾನು ಫಾರ್ವರ್ಡಿಂಗ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀನಿ. and I'll go through your forwarding table ಆಗ್ಬೋದು ಅಥವಾ routing table ನ ಅನಾಲಿಸಿಸ್ ಮಾಡಿ then I'll go for this routing computation. Computing ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ in which route I may choose in order to forward the packet. So these are the things that are related with your forwarding. Next we have the 3 models which will tell how the forwarding will be done. The forwarding of packets will be done. The first model we have here is the track forwarding. Track forwarding ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ it is an easy one and a fastest one. Easy ಆಗಿ packets ನ forward ಮಾಡಬಹುದು. Where track first ಏನ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ, ನಾವು track ನ identify ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ. Track ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ it is a path which exists between your source and the destination. And we can have just a unidirectional path ಮಾತ್ರ ಇರುತ್ತೆ. And here track ನ ನಾವು ಒಂದು ಸೆಲ್ ಇಂದ ಇನ್ನೊಂದು ಸೆಲ್ಗೆ, ಅಂದ್ರೆ ರಿಸೀವಿಂಗ್ ಸೆಲ್ಸ್ ಏನಿರುತ್ತೋ ಆ ಬೇಸಿಸ್ ಮಧ್ಯ ನಾನು ಟೈಮ್ ನ ಶೆಡ್ಯೂಲ್ ಮಾಡ್ಬೋದು, ಅಥವಾ ಇಂಡಿವಿಜುವಲ್ ಸೆಲ್ ಆದ್ರೂ ಆಗ್ಬೋದು ಅಥವಾ ಬಂಡಲ್ ಆಫ್ ಸೆಲ್ಸ್ ಆದ್ರೂ ಆಗ್ಬೋದು. ಐ ವಿಲ್ ಪೇರ್ ದೀಸ್ ಅಂಡ್ ಐ ವಿಲ್ ಕನ್ಸ್ಟ್ರಕ್ಟ್ ದಿ ಟ್ರ್ಯಾಕ್. ಸೊ ಒಂದ್ಸತಿ ನಂಗೆ ಫ್ರೇಮ್ ಬಂದಿದೆ ವಿತ್ ಇನ್ ದಟ್ ಪರ್ಟಿಕ್ಯುಲರ್ ಸೆಲ್ ಅಂತ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ನಾನೇನ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀನಿ, ದಟ್ ಸೆಲ್ ಬಂಡಲ್ ವಿಲ್ ಬಿ ಸ್ವಿಚ್ ಟು ದಿ ಅನದರ್ ಸೆಲ್. ಆ ಸೆಲ್ ಇಂದ ಇನ್ನೊಂದ್ ಸೆಲ್ಗೆ ಮೂವ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀನಿ, ಅಥವಾ ಆ ಸೆಲ್ ಬಂಡಲ್ ಇಂದ ಇನ್ನೊಂದ್ ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ಸೆಲ್ ಬಂಡಲ್ ಯಾವ್ದಿರುತ್ತೋ ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ನಾನು ಸ್ವಿಚ್ ಆಗ್ತೀನಿ. ದಿಸ್ ಫಾರ್ವರ್ಡಿಂಗ್ ಅಕರ್ಸ್ without using any network layer protocols. If there is a protocol, then also I can go with this forwarding type. If there is no protocol existing, then also I can go with this forwarding type. This is the simplest and fastest one. A track ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ ಇವಾಗ ಇಲ್ಲಿ source ಇರುತ್ತೆ and we have the destination. Track ಏನಂತಂದ್ರೆ first initial stage ನಾನು ಏನ್ ಮಾಡಿರ್ತೀನಿ, I'll identify the path between your source and the destination in order to have the communication. So it is of a unidirectional one between your source and the destination. A track is constructed. Track ಹೆಂಗ್ ಕನ್ಸ್ಟ್ರಕ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀನಿ ಅಂದ್ರೆ by making use of pairing. Bundles of receiving cells ನಾನು pair ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಂಡು I will construct this path. ಒಂದ್ಸತಿ ನಂಗೆ ಈ ಫ್ರೇಮ್ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಬಂದಿದೆ ಅಂತ ಅಂದ್ರೆ if I have found that the frame has been received, then what I'll do based on the cell or cell bundle I'll switch. ಇವಾಗ ನಾನು ಏನ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀನಿ ಇಲ್ಲಿಗೆ ನಾನು switch ಮಾಡ್ಬೋದು packet ನ, then I'll move to the destination. So I can make use of individual cell. Individual cell ಗೆ ಬಂದಿದ್ರೆ individual cell ಗೆ ನಾನು next send ಮಾಡ್ತೀನಿ. If I am having a cell bundle ಗೆ ಬಂದಿದೆ ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ then I'll switch that particular packet into the cell bundle, and this will work without any network layer protocol. This forwarding occurs regardless of the network layer protocol. So this is about your track forwarding. Next, second type we have here is the fragment forwarding. Fragment forwarding anta andre ee method na ನಾವು 6LoWPAN andre if the packet size is beyond the payload size ಗಿಂತ ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಇದ್ರೆ we will go for the fragmentation technique. So ಈ fragment forwarding ನ ನಾವು 6LoWPAN ಅಲ್ಲಿ use ಮಾಡ್ಬೋದು, and IPv6 packets can be fragmented at 6LoWPAN sublayer in order to handle the difference between your IEEE 802.15. Payload size and IPv6 MTU, that is your maximum transmission unit. Payload size ಗಿಂತ ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಇದ್ದಾಗ ನಾವು ಏನ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ, based on this maximum transmission unit we will divide that packet into fragments. For these things we may use the additional headers of RPL source, that is in order to have the routing information. ಯಾವ ರೂಟ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಹೋದ್ರೆ ನಾನು ಡೆಸ್ಟಿನೇಷನ್ ಅಥವಾ ರಿಸೀವರ್ ಗೆ ಕರೆಕ್ಟ್ ಆಗಿ ಸಿಂಕ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀನಿ ಅನ್ನೋ ಬೇಸಿಸ್ಗೋಸ್ಕರ ನಾವು ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಅಡಿಷನಲ್ ಹೆಡರ್ಸ್ ನ ಆಡ್ ಮಾಡಬಹುದು, and that can be contribute for the ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ಫ್ರಾಗ್ಮೆಂಟೇಶನ್. ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಫ್ರಾಗ್ಮೆಂಟೇಶನ್ ಮಾಡೋ ಟೈಮಲ್ಲಿ ಏನಾದರೂ ಇನ್ಫಾರ್ಮೇಶನ್ ರೂಟಿಂಗ್ ಇನ್ಫಾರ್ಮೇಶನ್ ಬೇಕಾಗಿರುತ್ತೆ, ಆ ಟೈಮಲ್ಲಿ ನಾವು ಈ ಅಡಿಷನಲ್ ಹೆಡರ್ಸ್ ಬೇಕಾದ್ರೂ ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡಬಹುದು. With this fragment forwarding, a mechanism is defined with the first fragment is routed. First fragment ಯಾವಾಗ ಆಗುತ್ತೋ ಆವಾಗ ನಾವು ಈ mechanism ನ define ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ, and 6LoWPAN sublayers will tell how the next hop is being selected. ಯಾವ first fragment ಆದ್ಮೇಲೆ next hop ಯಾವಾಗ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ, next hop ಯಾವ ತರ ತಗೊಳತ್ತೆ ಅನ್ನೋದನ್ನ 6LoWPAN sublayer ಹೇಳುತ್ತೆ, which is applied to all the subsequent. ಅಂದ್ರೆ first packet ಗೆ ಅದು assign ಮಾಡುತ್ತೆ next hop ಯಾವ್ದನ್ನ ತಗೋಬೇಕು ಅಂತ, then the other packets which is followed by your first fragment will follow the same path that has been followed by your first fragment. Otherwise IPv6 packets undergo hop by hop reassembly. Hop by hop ಆಗಿ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಬೇರೆ ಪಾತ್ಸ್ ನ ಏನಾದ್ರೂ ಅದು ತಗೊಂಡಿದ್ರೆ then we should have the reassemble. ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಡೆಸ್ಟಿನೇಷನ್ ಅನ್ನ ನಾವೇನ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ, we'll reassemble those fragments and we will make the correct data. This increases the latency ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ, means the delay between the packets may increase and can be power and CPU intensive for a constrained nodes. And the power consumption also may increase in the CPU time, or the CPU utilized becomes a more. ಅಂದ್ರೆ ನಾವು CPU ನ ಎಷ್ಟು ಟೈಮ್ ಯುಟಿಲೈಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ ಅದನ್ನು ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಆಗುವಂತ ಚಾನ್ಸಸ್ ಇರುತ್ತೆ. The last one we have here is the 6F, that is your IPv6 forwarding. This model forwards traffic based on the IPv6 routing table. ನಲ್ಲಿ routers ಇರುತ್ತೆ, ಆ router ಏನ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇರುತ್ತೆ, it will maintain a routing table. Based on that routing table it will forward the packets, where flow of packets na ನಾವು priority ಕೊಡ್ಬೋದು, like based on your quality of services. Quality of services na use ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಂಡಿದ್ರೆ I can have the priority for the packets, like which packet has to be sent first. And we have RED, that is random early detection. QoS, that is quality of service, is a classification scheme for flows based on the priority. Now quality of service na use ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೆ based on the priority I can send the packets, or I can have the flow of packets based on the priority. If I make use of random early detection, that is RED, I may have a common congestion avoid. ಅಂದ್ರೆ packets na ನಾನು send ಮಾಡುವಾಗ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಏನಾದ್ರೂ congestion ಆದ್ರೆ I can avoid that particular thing, because I am in the early stage itself I am detecting what is the error. So using this QoS, that is your quality of service, I will check the flow of the packets based on the priority. Based on your RED, that is random early detection, I have the common congestion avoidance. This model forwards the traffic based on your IPv6 routing table, where it will have the prioritized based on your QoS and RED, where flow, the QoS, that is quality of service, will provide a flow on the basis of their priority, and RED is acts as a common congestion avoidance of the packets. So this is about your IPv6 forwarding. And for many IoT wireless networks, it is not necessary in order to we may not be able to control the latency and throughput for sensors data. Sensors data na namge real time ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಕೊಡೋದ್ರಿಂದ we may not be able to control those latency and the throughput. However, sometimes we have to determine these things when it is needed. So 6TiSCH is an open and IPv6 based standard solution in order to ensure the predictable communication over wireless sensor network. It is used in order to have the communication on wireless sensor networks.